Hello, y'all. Happy witching hour. Hello. Hey, Stefan. Happy witching hour to you. Happy Friday. All right. Hello. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about something. And this is appropriate for Friday because it is early Friday morning. If I'm not mistaken. No, I'm joking. It's definitely Friday, December the 12th of 2025. And so Aphrodite has a message for you guys, okay? First of all, we're going to talk about not giving up on love. And not just romantic love, but romantic love is very important. But just not giving up on love, period, just as a superpower, okay? Now, I'm going to say a quick disclaimer. If somebody has told you that they do not want to be with you and that they are not interested in you, and you know that they're not interested, I'm not talking about that. Okay. Let me just put that out there because I'm in the spiritual community. I'm a high priestess and I see a lot of people trying to make people love them. I think that spell work and witchcraft and necromancy and magic, I think it's important for maybe cleansing, maybe defense of your lover or the ones that you love, but to make somebody love you, no. Okay? No, you cannot make somebody love you. It's never going to happen. Okay? You can't. Okay? Person either is going to love you or they're not. End of story. If a person does not love you or want to be with you and they don't even want to talk to you, you need to just let it go. Stop thinking that you can go and get spell work and curses on people because that stuff is going to backfire on you. Okay. Just FYI. Okay. Now, if you're already with someone and you need protection and defense, that's different because people will throw stuff at you and your lover. Yes, they will. People will throw stuff at the people that you love just because you love them because there's so many people that are filled with hate. And I'm going to talk about why. There are so many people that are filled with hate and jealousy and evil. Okay. So they have, not they, but the experiences that you have caused you to not believe in love, to actually be afraid of it. But what if I told you that a lot of that stuff that you experienced was being done for someone else's purpose? Okay. For some reason, we do have people, and it's not just the ones that are higher up, but there's the other ones that are down at the bottom of the pyramid, right? For some reason, they feed off of hate. My theory is that if you get a bunch of people to hate themselves and to not believe in love, it's easier to control those people. If you keep people in a constant state of fear and a constant state of nervousness, right? So, we're all having to deal with that aspect of it. And it's gotten so bad to where people like to look at love as a business proposition. And I guess you would have had to have been around for that time of the Renaissance, and I guess maybe the Roman Empire or whatever. The people actually fought wars to end that, to end arranged marriages and people trying to tell people who to love. So that's actually like a big deal. And for some reason in the America in these days, people are actually more complacent to that, which is really weird. Okay. But anyway, oh my goodness, especially those really, really, really bad lovers, like I'm talking about the abusive ones. Those were sent to you, depending on who you are, or maybe, you may not even have this huge purpose, which I believe everybody does. But they'll send people to you to try to hurt you, to try to destroy you, your hormones, your beauty, your everything. They'll try to send people to you to hurt you so that you cannot believe in love, so you can give up, and that person will be so horrible to you to the point where now you're thinking, love is toxic, love is dangerous. I don't want to ever go through that again. But you were not experiencing love. You were experiencing a reality that was created for you to control your destiny. That's exactly what you were experiencing. And what other way to do that than to mess with people's love and emotions? I am so at liberty to discuss this, and I'm not afraid to discuss this because I am a child of Aphrodite, and she is very powerful. So, if anybody has a problem with this discussion, well, they can just take a trip to hell and gasoline draws. Okay. Stop giving up on love. There is actually a path to love. May not be everybody's path, but again, there were certain people whose love lives were manipulated. Okay. Doesn't matter by who. Honestly, it does not matter by who. Well, it kind of does. It actually kind of does, though, because it really, really depends on what the purpose was. But your destiny is your destiny and nobody else's. And nobody has the right to do that to you. Okay. Now, obviously, in this world, only a few select people are going to get this message, which is fine by me. I'm just doing my part, in this life that they insultingly call a game. I am very insulted by people that call life a game. It is deeply disturbing when you come to YouTube and you see spiritual misinformation and how there are so many people being given misinformation on purpose. Case in point, I want to make this point real quick. People that believe that Earth is a prison. And where does that come from? Where does that belief come from? That belief comes from despair and being distraught because you're still allowing someone to create your reality so that they can control your destiny, because that's what they want, is puppets. When I say don't give up on love, I'm not saying don't give up on getting married someday. No. Mm-mm. I'm not saying don't give up on having a trophy. I'm talking about real, true love, is what I'm talking about. I am not talking about this so called nuclear marriage. I'm not talking about that because that doesn't exist. That's not real. That's how misery is created. Okay. I'm talking about somebody that you truly love and that truly loves you. The person that you're meant to be with, that's going to heal your heart, that's going to heal your nervous system, that's going to heal your body. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Or and vice versa. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about, oh, I met somebody that, that I can use as a trophy, that, as a symbol of of status, of high status. No, no. Many things that we have done as a society has led to death, sickness, and destruction, especially back during the Victorian age. Those women back then were wearing lead on their faces and dying in their 20s. Yeah. So, so everything that we do, and you know what, we're experiencing that again. My theory is possession. My theory is holding on to things that we need to let go of. Can't really change everybody in this world. You can only say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I am going to create. And I'm going to choose whether or not those other types of people and how far they get to me. Now, that made me, when I spoke about that, that made me think of Hermes, god of Mercury. And it's funny because right now we are in Virgo. So that would be Mercury. So the moon is in Virgo. And then I think on the 13th is going to move into Libra. Okay. So the what am I? The alignment is perfectly amazing today. You know what I mean? So I used to get really, really pissed off knowing that society or just people had an invested interest in my sexual energy, how I felt, because they wanted to use me. That used to enrage me until I started working closely with Aphrodite. And she's healed me from that because, when you get to be my age, you know what about the world. And that is the truth. They do want to control you. They do. It's weird. It's weird. Now, I do see certain aspects of our government trying to do that. Whatever they do, they probably do mainly in secret. Doesn't matter if it's the government or it's a neighbor or it's the dude down the street. It does not matter. You still, this is what Aphrodite states. You still have the right to your life and your sovereignty. And that's it. Okay. If you notice that in our society, trauma has been the biggest play button. Trauma. Trying to traumatize the whole nation. It's been really bad. Really, really, really bad the past few months. Okay. And it's just it's and as soon as society calms down, the gods, especially the sun, starts to heal people. Next thing you know, something pops up that is meant to traumatize you and to make you fearful. So those things have to be separated. You do need to be aware and protected from the evils of this world, but it's not anything that you should be fearing, because if we were to just continuously live in a constant state of fear, sadly, a lot of people, and I'm talking about good people, because bad people, I honestly, if I consider you, if you're unacceptable to me, I don't care about your life. Honestly, I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron with this discussion, but that's just how I feel. But a lot of good people are going to perish because of that. You know, there's a lot of people taking themselves out because they just can't see the light. They can't see the fact that their right and authority to control your reality and destiny is not real. It is not real that they can do that. They cannot. End of story. Okay? They cannot do that to you. They don't have the right. So you have to make a choice. You have to say, you know what? What am I going to do? Like when you realize that your entire life, I'm not talking about your family. You know what I'm saying? Family is family. Okay. Your children are real. Did y'all see that one um that disturbed me about that one installment of the Matrix when Trinity left her children? Like, no, your children are real. They came from you. You gave birth to them. Okay. But a lot of your experiences were created for you. They were created either systematically or almost like how when somebody throws the dice out there and the chips fall where they may, and you just so happen to be randomly afflicted by someone else's need to exploit whatever your situation is, right? It's the truth. So there are certain people that if you were either married or hand fasted and living your best life, they wouldn't have no business. They wouldn't have nothing. So they're in a business of keeping you down. It's that never-ending nightmare that everybody needs to wake up from. And then when you start to try to change your life and you start to try to undo the chains that you're in mentally, physically, psychologically, then they want to mess with you. Because, they want to challenge you. The one thing about that pisses me off, excuse my language, I didn't want to cuss, is that who are they to try to test your worthiness? So it's almost like you get put through this test. And what does their test mean? Their tests mean nothing. Because what are they even testing you for? They're testing you according to their own standards. Do you have to accept being caught up in that mental prison? No, you don't. Love is a superpower. So, creating as much hate as possible is the name of their game. Hate destroys people's health. Hate destroys people's lives. Hate destroys people's hearts. It makes you more palatable so that you can be taken advantage of. Okay. So, and that's what you're looking at. It's a lot of possessed people. The floodgates of hell, basically, not technically, but rhetorically. Was that rhetorically? Is that the right word I'm looking for? Anyway, the gates of hell has been opened, which is why you're seeing racism, all of that stuff that does not serve anybody, but you see it rearing its ugly head. And the reason why is because that's big business. That's big business for some people. Even some people that the racism is being pointed towards, that's big business. But it's a source of stress. So I wouldn't want to see that come around over and over again, or at least, everybody ain't gonna like everybody, but that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to not live in that hate. And that's everybody. Nobody has to live within somebody else's hate. So stop giving up on love. Some of it was random. You run into somebody that was raised in a bad environment or whatever, but a lot of what you guys know about when it comes to love was a trick. It was a game being played with you. And for various purposes, it doesn't even really matter. Sometimes it does. It really, yeah, it does sometimes. But that is because love, or either the definition of love, is being created for you. You're not creating it. You're being told to go out there and be random, and that's not the way to do it. It isn't. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for the first 48 years of my life, and had 4 children out of it. So that doesn't mean that I don't love my children. I'm gonna go to the moon and back for my children. So that doesn't. But you still, no matter what, even though you have children, you still have the right to find love. Then at the same time, what Aphrodite wants to talk about is beauty and aesthetics, and how so many people's beauty is being stolen or perverted, or you know what I mean? Or so it's a lot to that, because everybody wants to look their best, as best as possible. Because sometimes looking your best points to how you feel, right? Like, you can really tell how a person feels internally sometimes, not all the time. But you can sometimes tell most of the time how somebody feels internally based upon how their skin looks, based upon their, their outer appearances, but not all the time. You know what I mean? So, it's a lot that is going to require that me time and that meditation and that belief, and then also the belief to not give up on love. You cannot give up on love. That's the main thing. The main aspect about it is that in all situations, in any situation, and you need to focus more on love. You need to protect yourself from the hate and the evil eye, protect yourself from the violence and death, and focus on love and self-care. Focus on finding or not finding. Let me retract that. Not finding. You don't find love. Love is already there for you. Love is already there for you. What's happened is that your true love has been blocked off from you, blocked on purpose. This was done on purpose. That person is out there lost looking for you. Okay. That's a fact. And what's happening is that the reality and the circumstances of where you're at is causing you not to be able to commune with that person, to meet that person. So it's not like you're necessarily creating the lover. You are creating a situation where the person that's meant to love you or the person you're meant to be with, you'll cross paths with that person finally. Okay, when I talk about creating the spiritual husband, mm-hmm, because they'll help you with that. They will. And sometimes, well, number one, you can't expect for anybody to be perfect. There's probably going to be certain things that you two probably do have to work out with each other. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But, you can't continue. You can't go on like that. You can't. Because what are you going to do? When you leave this earth, you're going to come right back looking for that long lost love. That's a fact. Most people on this planet, that's why they come. They don't just come to earth for love, but they come for earthly pleasures, right? But that's one of the biggest earthly pleasures. You're just still going to be searching for that love, like sometimes it's eternal. You're just eternally searching for that person until you find them. And it has been eternal so far. It has. So, um, you have the right to say, hey, you have the right to speak to the universe. You have the right to say, this is what I'm getting from the universe. If somebody says, well, I'm going to threaten your life if you do that, I, I personally, for the people that I love and for true love, am willing to take the risk. Nobody threatening my life is going to scare me anyway, because, I'm High Priestess Jamila. Okay. I'm not low priestess Jamila. I'm high priestess Jamila. I'm willing to fight for that. I'm willing to fight for the people that I love. Okay. So, you know what I mean? So, but but it is that serious. It is for some reason, but it's a trick. It's a lie. It's a fallacy that they have the right to even be coming at you like that, let alone trying to do harm to you. The moment that you believe that they have the right or the power to do that, they'll do it. Okay. And that's not just with romantic love, that's with anybody that you love. Okay. And I know we got some pretty ruthless people in this world. Aphrodite is pretty ruthless herself, but not in an unrighteous sense. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and war and beauty and many, many other things. But she's the goddess of love and war. Okay. So, and then she's very close with Aries. And that's pretty much her husband, the god of Mars, Aries. so so she's pretty powerful. Okay. And it's an amazing thing to feel loved and protected by her. And and so some of you guys need to really make that connection. I'm just saying. you know there's a lot of people that are religious and they don't want to do that. Okay, fine, that's your choice. But I think that many people that do that, they sort of find out. I think in this lifetime especially, I think that more people that pass on, they find out the truth. The second they pass away, they find out the exact truth. So she wanted to come and give you guys that message. I hope that this helps somebody out there. What I can feel right now is a lot of people out there with broken hearts. Yeah, I can definitely sense that from a lot of people out there, broken hearts. So that's even more reason to commune with Aphrodite. She's so beautiful and loving and powerful. Okay. So, anyway, I just thought I would come and give you guys that message on a Friday. I hope you guys have a lovely day today. Okay. Stay away from too much hate. YouTube has really changed a whole lot to the point where, 10 years ago, you rarely saw too much news on YouTube. And now it's just all about what's happening in the news and politics and stuff. YouTube actually used to be such a great place, though, especially for people that didn't necessarily watch the news. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't watch the news. I think that we do need to sometimes watch the news. You know what I'm saying? But, uh, what are you going to do with that information when you do get it? You know what I mean? And then also, you don't have to hear about every single little bad thing that happens in this world. That's, you know, if it's something important like politics, because politics can affect us gravely and greatly. Politics can really have an effect. So, but otherwise, just hearing about every little bad thing that happens in this world, many people need to stop doing that because that's not doing you no good. You just breaking, you're becoming more broken. You got to give yourself time to heal. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. Peace and love and blessings to y'all. And yes, you see that little warning? This live contains an endorsement of my services. Contact me to create your spiritual husband, plural. Some of y'all need more than one spiritual husband. That doesn't mean that you're going to have more than one partner, but some of y'all really, really need more than one spiritual husband. Some of y'all need a spirit team. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's pretty much what I've been doing for a bulk, a majority of clients. Yes. And, there's an opinion that if you work with too many spirits or deities or gods, that you're going to have chaos. And people are just taught that. People are just taught that, but some of us need that many. The chaos is coming where maybe your adversaries are screaming and hollering about it because you have more hands protecting you. You have more hands on deck. So that's why they say, oh, that's chaos. It's like, yeah, for you. For me, it's heaven. For me, it's bliss. So. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I will see. I saw somebody asking me a few days ago, is she still doing readings? Is she? But I don't know. Yes, I am. I don't have to come on here all the time. I don't be running flash sales anymore, hardly. But, of course, if people want to read, they just contact me. You know, that's how you get that done. But, it's been a lot of, I've had to come and address hate, uh, and it just because that's what you have to do sometimes. But other than that, that has nothing to do with what I do with the rest of my time. I mean, there's 24 hours in every day. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I spend most of my day doing my spiritual work and doing readings for people. Is what I do. Okay. And then meditating and stuff. But okay, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this discussion. Make sure that y'all hit that thumbs up, and I will see y'all next time. Okay. Happy 12/12 to y'all. This is a special day. Happy 12/12. All right. Okay. Blessings to you guys. Bye.